I just look at this woman standing here in all black too, mind you. And I'm like, ugh, the energy, all of it is just so dark. She's so dark. She looks like the high priestess of darkness here in all black, telling us all this gloom and doom. And that even that sign is ticking me off. No child lost to social media. Well, that includes your kids, Meghan. That includes your kids too. And believe me, I'm not saying it's not a story that doesn't deserve to be told, just not by this person. Not by this woman. I'm sorry. No. No, 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 no.
Demand better from the platforms shaping our children's lives.
Demand better from the parents that live with the kids that can take the devices away. Yeah. Of course, always, the blazer with nothing under it. And then like the neckline's always super, super.
So speak up.
That's what I'm doing. I gotta tell you, I ain't happy about this latest shenanigan shiz show that Miss Markle pulled in Geneva, Switzerland. Not because we're playing her little game about, oh yeah, we're obsessed about Meghan, so we're posting about her. No, no, no. That's not it. This woman is on the world stage making pronouncements and speeches, which I find deeply disturbing. I think she pushes a very dangerous narrative, and it's important to talk about it. There's so many things. But the fact that Meghan can make this speech less than 24 hours after she has yet again posted another creepy, blurry, back of the head selfie of her child, who is what, 6th or 7th in line to the British throne, Lily. She's constantly fueling crazy speculation all over online about who these kids really are, where did they come from, what's going on, why isn't there documentation on these kids? So she's posting these kids ad nauseum. But the fact of the matter is that these just aren't any kids. These are kids that are in direct line to the throne in the UK, okay? And the fact of the matter is that there's no proper documentation on these kids. And there's been birthing narratives that were in Spare, that was in Netflix, it was all this stuff, and they all contradict each other. And she's just smoke and mirrors. And it's just gross and it's disgusting. And, enough is enough. If you want to show your children, you can do it in a respectful way, befitting children that are in line to the throne, like the way William and Catherine do, even though you're no longer a working royal. You could show them in a forward-facing, respectful manner once or twice a year, just to at least show us that they're normal, they're real, they have faces, and, they can be accounted for. 99% of the people talking about it are just talking about it as it pertains to the line of succession. So she plays on it, and she's constantly participating and entertaining it, that little game. She loves the cat and mouse. So when she shows up in this, I'm wearing a black suit standing at a podium with my little cards. And in my last video, I was like, stop with the whole flowers in the attic deal, Meghan. Okay, it's creepy. It's creepy. I mean, you might as well put Michael Myers masks on these kids, okay? Because that's how creeped out we all are at this point. I'll say at the onset that they don't talk about the obvious. And the obvious is that the parental role here cannot be understated in protecting children, especially when they're online and dealing with the dangers of the online space and social media. Okay. And notice Harry and Meghan never talk about what you as a parent can do. It's all doom. It's all gloom. We're going to try to scare you. She's relaying stories of these very young teens, 14, 15-ish years old, and how they unalived themselves. And yes, we should be uncomfortable with what has happened to these children, to these families affected, because it is a problem. But I will not play that on my channel, because I don't want to give Meghan an opportunity on my platform to use these children for her own gains, because that's what I feel she does. So I'm not going to play the parts where she talks about the tragic stories about these particular children in question. I don't know how they're stomaching listening to this woman, this particular woman, talk about their children. That's what's getting me so upset. You know how Megan's always like, as a mom, as a mom. Well, guess what? This mom, that's how I feel about it. That's what's really upsetting me. This woman talking about the tragedies that those parents went through. This is the same woman that visits Bondi Beach and then immediately after walking along the scene of a tragic massacre that happened. But how dare she, then immediately try to monetize the outfits that she was wearing. So this is who we're dealing with, okay? In my opinion, this is such destructive behavior. That's all about monetization at every turn.
Behind us stands the Lost Screen Memorial. Not statistics, not avatars, not data points, children.
And the long dramatic pauses too. The long dramatic pauses. This speech is full of them, you guys. It's full of them.
Each name belonged to a child who was loved beyond measure, whose shoes once waited by a front door, whose future once felt limitless.
It's too much. It's too much. She's really, really trying to get us to listen to it by playing upon our sympathies, playing upon who we are as people. And the average person has a heart and a soul and is upset when they hear this kind of stuff. And she knows that. I look at it as she's just using it as her vehicle to stand up there and, probably promote these baggy black clown pants she's wearing. I mean, let's see if these pants show up on that social sharing digital website platform thing that she does. See what I mean? Like, she's the wrong person for this messaging. There's been so many things out for decades that can harm kids. How about television shows? How about movies? How about magazines? How about books that are inappropriate and harmful to children that they may or may not have had access to, depending on how active their parents were in working to explain to them about the dangers of them or shield them from these things. So even if social media wasn't the huge thing that it's become in the last 15, 20 years or so, children were still being harmed by a lot of things that weren't good for them.
We've accepted a dangerous bargain that modern connection must come at the cost of the innocence of childhood.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to come at the expense of the innocence of childhood, not when the parent is 100% in charge of the fact that that device is in their child's hands in the first place.
We did not tell parents to create their own seatbelts. We did not ask children to test unsafe medicine.
What is she talking about? What is she talking about? You have to get into a car, and as reports and studies and crash statistics started coming out, people realized, we have to not only keep children safe, but adults. That's why it's the law to wear a seatbelt for everybody, not just kids. But people need to get in cars and, to go places and live their lives, but you don't need to have a device in your hand. Like, how could she liken the importance of seatbelts to, guardrails for social media? She's comparing apples to oranges here, and she's playing on a pure emotion, talking to us about these tragic stories of these teens and preteens. Like, none of this makes sense. And then even that sign is ticking me off. No child lost to social media. Well, that includes your kids, Megan. That includes your kids too. Get the back of Lily's strawberry blonde head, allegedly, off of social media. Get Archie's head off of social media. We don't want to see the back of his head anymore. And these kids are going to grow up and be like, are you serious? Our mother was going around preaching all over the world and using, wasting her platform, talking about this kind of stuff while she was monetizing her outfits and showing creepy, weird pictures of me in a closet where my foot looks all weird. She's standing there wearing a color that, mind you, Princess Catherine wore very, very recently and rocked and looked beautiful, but she's wearing the same thing. And even Megan's face looks weird and altered. And then the little girl that's sitting, whoever it is, the supposed Lily child that's sitting at her feet, it looks weird and her foot is all weird. It almost looks like a hand. Like, Do you see what I'm talking about? And they're going to be like, our mom did this. Our mom did this and perpetuated this whole internet frenzy for years because she just didn't provide doctor's signatures on a paper when it was supposed to be there, because my mom and dad chose to play cat and mouse with the public about the circumstances surrounding our births, kept us from our respective grandparents too. It's sick. It's a sick situation.
We did not shrug at poisoned water or defective toys.
Why
These
would we,
stories
Meghan?
are not isolated. They are consistent.
Yeah, and tragedies like this have been happening since the dawn of time. People have unalived themselves since the dawn of time, and usually they do it when, I mean, let's call it what it is. A lot of people that do it do have mental health challenges, things going on, challenging and crumbling family relations. Sometimes they come from really, really stable families, and the families do everything they can, but those tragedies still happen. It's just, thus is life. Okay. And as a Catholic Christian, the only thing that I could do to look at those types of things and make sense about it is that God's in charge. For whatever reason, he has allowed that to happen. And he's going to give me the strength and the grace that I need to get through it. And his ways are not our ways. The most we can do when we stand in front of him at the end of time is say, I loved my child to no end. Something tragic happened to that child, but I did everything I could. She's taking personal accountability out of the equation. It should be, we all are accountable to God and his standards first and foremost. And as parents, we are charged with safeguarding our children's hearts, minds, and souls and forming them up into good, honest, loving people. And if more people put their damn phones down like Meghan and spent more time with their kids, then less tragedies like this would happen. And you know why it's going on? It's going on because we have erased God from our very lives. In every aspect of our lives where God used to reign collectively, just the world at large seems to want to kick him out of everything. And that's why we find ourselves where we find ourselves, because people aren't taking the time to make themselves answerable to him, basically. It's just, and I'm sorry, you might think that that's a really simplistic and stupid way to look at it. I really don't care. That's exactly how I feel. And taking away people's liberties and rights online is not the way to deal with it. Not when you have to really pinpoint the real problem. And the real problem is the absence of God in everyone's life and the absence of really good involved parenting. And Harry and Meghan are so comfortable with playing the victim constantly that they want all these parents listening to this, they want them to feel like victims too. Victims with their, their hands up in the air and, feeling like their hands are tied. What can we do? Oh, you remember when Harry told, was it Jane Pauley in that interview that, when the child's in the bedroom with the iPad at night, who knows, what rabbit holes are. And I'm like, first of all, ding dong, you don't let your freaking kid have an iPad just completely unvetted and loose at night behind closed doors anyway. Not in my freaking house. I mean, what is he talking about? Lord, help me, Lord. I have talked to my kids for so long about the dangers of all this kind of stuff. I homeschooled my kids for 5 years, but you can still be a phenomenal parent who has to work outside the home and still talk to your kids and have a relationship with your kids, a close relationship where they know right from wrong and they know about the dangers and all the hidden evils of everything going on online. But you can also say, sorry, you're not going to have your iPad behind a closed door at night when you're supposed to be sleeping. Not going to happen. You're not going to have a TikTok account when you're 8. Okay. So personal accountability. And again, too, we noticed when Harry and Meghan are giving speeches, it's always doom and gloom. There are never any real clear indication of what the solutions are. And most people with common sense and a strong sense of God in their life don't like the solutions that her and the people that she run with want to come up with, which is essentially trying to censor everything that we see online. It's just infuriating more and more people. And that's why I turned on my laptop today, because this is a bunch of nonsense tomfoolery. I don't like it.
We are seeing new forms of harms emerge faster than our systems and ourselves are prepared to respond.
Yeah, that's when you turn it off. That's when you turn it off and say, no more, no more.
But these outcomes are not inevitable.
You're right, they're not. She was going into detail about how a child caused harm to herself. And believe me, I'm not saying it's not a story that doesn't deserve to be told, just not by this person, not by this woman. I'm sorry. No, 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 no.
Today, she is here not only as a mother, but as an advocate and an activist, working to ensure that no other family has to experience the same loss.
But unfortunately, that mom and the advocacy groups that are working with her could work tirelessly to try to solve these problems, but they're still going to remain. They're still going to remain as long as there are evil people in the world putting out harmful content. And it's going to remain as long as you have parents who aren't having the challenging conversations with the kids and they aren't being parents and just physically, even if they have to, take the damn devices out of their hands. Period. Harry and Meghan. Okay. Why don't you get off your phone, Meghan? Further into this speech, and you're going to see like steam like come out of my nose and my ears at that point. But she talks about something like kids aren't a commodity and they're not a product and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, did she really just say that? Did she really just say that while she's monetizing an outfit? I should go to that platform that she's on and check to see if this outfit is being monetized right now as we speak.
They are too often the product. Because when they tick the box,
there she goes, the product. The kids are the product. Just like her kids are the product, right?
And they sign the terms and conditions, they don't realize that they may actually be signing away their life.
Well, the kids, technically social media isn't designed for children, okay? I'm sorry. Why is this woman who is obsessed herself with social media and what everyone says about her online, why is she delivering this message? That would be like having Rambo stand up at the podium and talk to us about, gun control. Okay. It's like,
because the small print didn't spell out that it was going to prey upon their vulnerabilities and drive them to content they weren't looking for to keep them engaged for as long as possible.
There's a lot of 8-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 9-year-olds that have TikTok accounts and all that kind of garbage, right? They've got a TikTok account. And when the account was being made, who the hell does Meghan think was on there checking the terms and condition boxes for the kid? Riddle me that, Meghan. It was the parent. Again, what is she talking about? This is something that rests firmly in the parents' arena here. So much of this stuff could be really, really controlled if parents took the time and the Lord was in the center of all of it. Okay. I just look at this woman standing here in all black too, mind you. And I'm like, ugh, the energy, all of it is just so dark. She's so dark. She's either wearing boring beige, boring all of us, our eyes rolling backwards in our heads until, we get a freaking headache, or she looks like the high priestess of darkness here in all black, telling us all this gloom and doom and how she wants to, have government policy to tell us what we can and can't look at online, and then using kids and their tragic stories to try to take away our online freedom. Go away, Meghan. Go take that black outfit, which I'm going to check if she's monetizing, and go home.
They didn't know that the platforms valued profit over people.
Well, that's how big business works, Meghan. She obviously values profit because look what she did with that Netflix thing. She wants the money, but she doesn't want to deliver a quality show to us that can actually teach us or entertain us. She just wants to throw out some curated, half-hearted slop, call it with love, and we're all supposed to fawn all over her. Give me a break.
This moment demands more than concern. It demands courage. The courage to regulate where regulation is needed.
Yeah, let's make some laws that take people's rights away. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because we don't like the current administration. We don't like the way that the current president wants to treat Americans like adults who can make their own choices. Let's take a weed whacker to the United States Constitution because my husband and I don't like what's being said about us online. That's where all this is coming from too, We all know that. We all know that. We're on to you, Meghan.
Our children are not products.
Sorry. Yeah. Kids aren't products, you guys. And definitely her kids are not products to be monetized either. Okay. So nothing to see here, get eyeballs and clicks on my Instagram grid or anything like that.
They're not experiments and they are not expendable.
She's so boring, you guys. She's so boring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Okay. I'm telling you, you got to do what you got to do. You got to listen to what people like her are saying so that you can counter the messaging. And that's what we're doing here, you guys. It's like that freaking, what was that song? Fight the power. We got to fight the powers that be. She's the power that be. We got to fight this power.
Because if an adult is barely able to survive the bullying and predation of the online world and the dangers that these platforms bring, how is a child?
Blah, blah, blah. She's boring. Okay, I'm on this one off website. She's with them monetizing. So as of this recording, the last outfit she was monetizing was when she was, can you guys see this? All beige, all boring outfit that she monetized. So as of right now, this outfit she's wearing is not on here. But I do hope that I can be, I stand corrected in a couple of days and that this particular, outfit isn't on here, but I doubt it. Give it some time. It'll be on there. Maybe by the time we film the next video, I'll be able to tell you whether or not she decided to monetize this little ensemble she got going on. And of course, always, the blazer with nothing under it. And then like the neckline's always super, super low. I'm Meghan.
So speak up.
That's what I'm doing. I'm speaking up. Sorry, you guys. When you rant, your throat gets dry.
Demand better from the platforms shaping our children's lives.
Demand better from the parents that live with the kids that can take the devices away. Yeah.
Be an example in your own social media use of how to be intentional in every moment that you like, that you comment, that you post, that you share.
So take your own advice, Meghan. Okay. You need to be accountable for every single post that you put up of said children, Archie and Lily. You are responsible for all of the internet sleuthing that happens and all the tomfoolery and all the wild, fiery speculation that just gets fueled more and more and more and more every single time you post the back of their heads. She knows this. We know it. She knows this. Guys, I apologize. To listen to me have a nervous breakdown.
Because when enough voices refuse to accept harm as the cost of connection, change becomes inevitable.
I mean, some of it makes sense and sounds good for sure. But, she's not really getting to the meat of the story. And the meat is parents need to be involved. And here's what parents can actually do. And we need to just put away the phones and stop giving these platforms the power that they do have over our lives. And that's the way we can do it. I mean, that's the way that we can solve this problem. My kids don't have social media. A lot of parents say no social media. But like I've offered you more solutions just in my ranting video here, okay, of a lunatic 52-year-old mom than she has. All she's done again is here's the bun, here's the condiments, but there's no dang meat. Don't have your kids on social media. And if you choose to, at least nothing before high school. Or personally, I think nothing before 18. That's my opinion.
Children will look back at this era with absolute disbelief that adults once allowed digital spaces to exist without basic protections for young people.
And that's what her kids are going to do. They're going to look at her and be like, Mom, if that's indeed who you are, mom, parental figure, you know, now that you've let us out of the attic, is this what you did to us? Is this what you did? You would post the back of our heads every week and look at all these articles and all these headlines and all this stuff. Mainstream media publishes articles like what happened with this whole thing. She's got a lot to answer to, or she will. Let's put it that way.
We want our children to be safe.
Duh. Well, duh.
Let our children look back at this moment and let them feel proud of us.
Okay, I can't anymore. I'm done. Remember how I said in the beginning that she's just a walking contradiction, and she's infuriating because she doesn't walk her talk. And if she really cared about all of this, we wouldn't have any evidence of her kids on her grid or her reels or her whatever. They would be non-existent on her social media platform. She's the adult. They're the children. Okay, she's 100% in charge. So she's entirely the wrong person to be delivering this message. But in my opinion, a narcissist. She's just compelled to want to do this and to want to be in the media at all times, getting a lot of attention. And as long as people are talking about her, she has to fuel it by being the hypocrite. Now, I'm not going to buy into her BS just in the sense that because she wants me to. I'm talking about it because what I see going on here is evil. And when you take parents out of the equation, and when you take God and just faith and reason and liberty, things that I, as an American, hold very, very dear, when you take things like that power out of the hands of parents and society in general, and just try to regulate it to governments that are going to now tell us what we can and can't see and blah, 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 but disguise it under child digital safety, that's where I have a problem with it. So she knows that she has to be a contradiction and a hypocrite, because that's what's going to keep people talking about her and keep people clicking on her grid. But she's lost me, because I'm never going to buy anything that she's selling, whether it's her spread or a pair of, baggy clown pants on one-off. She's never going to make a damn dime off of me, because if she was honest, if she was forthright, if she had real convictions that she believed in and stood by, she wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. But she wouldn't do the whole Netflix, Spotify, as ever weirdo Instagram trying to monetize my personal life thing. If she was a normal who just wanted to be a cause-driven humanitarian, that's too boring for her, because she's not going to get all the attention that she gets by being this walking, talking, infuriating contradiction. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below about this latest little shtick she's got going on here. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please subscribe. I would love, love, love to have you. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. I know there's a lot to watch on YouTube, so thank you for being here, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.